Hitting a helicopter with an RPG is one of the most satisfying moments in Battlefield 6. But you know what's even better than that? Double tapping a helicopter with an RPG. And most players don't even know that the scope is marked completely wrong, which is why they keep missing. Let me show you how it actually works. This is by far the most effective and fun to use launcher in the game right now. If you're playing engineer, you absolutely need to know how to unlock its true potential. And even if you're not an engineer mate, you should still learn how to aim this thing. It's incredibly satisfying, and if you're playing RedSec, it's the recommended gadget to equip on any class. In this video, I'm breaking down everything you need to know about the RPG, how the scope actually works, and the techniques that will turn you into an absolute menace against both vehicles and infantry. Since Battlefield it's all about large-scale warfare with vehicles and infantry skirmishes, having something reliable to counter those vehicles is crucial. And it's not just about the vehicles. The RPG can be devastatingly effective against infantry as well if you learn its quirks. But what makes it so good when you have some more modern alternatives available? First is the versatility. Other launchers feel specialized for specific targets. Some excel against aircraft, other against tanks. And sure, they might be easier to use and more forgiving to land shots, but they're not as fast and powerful as the RPG. It also has minimal projectile drop, which makes it incredibly reliable at medium and even long range when you know how to use it properly. Now, there's been some debate in the community. Some say that the RPG is overpowered because of its consistent damage output against land vehicles. Others insist it's been nerfed because of the reduced splash damage against infantry. And yeah, it's not realistic, but in-game it serves a specific purpose. Giving it realistic splash damage against infantry would make the game miserable for everyone. It would completely undermine the gunplay we all enjoy, since you could just spam rockets at choke points and wipe entire groups instantly. Nobody wants that. As an RPG enjoyer myself, I think that it's balanced exactly where it needs to be right now. But let me know in the comments if you disagree. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and drop a like. It really helps push this content to more players who might need it. Now here's something to remember. If you're having issues aiming with the RPG scope, don't be too hard on yourself, because the scope is actually marked wrong. Yeah, you heard that right. If you thought the center crosshair line would land accurate shots at 100 meters, you've been living in a lie. I'm not sure why it works like this, probably a bug that hasn't been fixed, but here's how it actually works. The center of the cross hits accurately at 50 to 60 meters. That's your close to medium range reference point. And the 100 meter mark, it's actually at the bottom of the cross. So you need to aim higher than you think. The bottom lines start at 200 meters and the next one down is for 500 meters. Having these accurate reference points will make aiming the RPG significantly easier. In time, you'll develop a feel for it, and landing those clutch shots in tense situations will become second nature. It will just take some practice. When aiming at moving targets, especially helicopters, you also need to account for their movement speed and direction. Watch the helicopter's fly path. If it's moving horizontally across your screen, lead your shot based on distance. The further away it is, the more you need to lead. If it's coming toward you or moving away, adjust for the vertical movement as well. Landing those nice helicopter shots will take some practice at first, but it's absolutely worth it. There's nothing quite like getting a quad kill from dropping a fully loaded transport heli. When it comes to blowing up tanks, here is how many shots it will usually take. From the front, it typically takes 4 to 5 rockets to destroy them. From the side armor, you're looking at 3 rockets. And from the rear armor, just 2 rockets will do the job. I say typically because there are some weird angles and hit detection spots that return inconsistent results and frankly don't make any sense. But we'll focus on the reliable stuff. They'll probably fix and adjust those inconsistencies along the way. And if it's not obvious by now, always try to flank tanks and hit them from the side or rear. The difference between 5 rockets and 2 rockets, it's massive, especially when the tank crew is actively repairing. For the rest of the vehicles, it's pretty straightforward. ATVs take just 1 rocket, buggies need 2 rockets, attack helicopters go down in 1 rocket, jets also take 1 rocket, and transport helicopters require 2 rockets at full health. Transport helicopters only have about 20% health remaining after taking a rocket, so even if you don't get the second shot off immediately, your team can finish it easily, or the pilot will be forced to retreat and repair. When it comes to using the RPG against infantry, it can be tricky, but it's absolutely a viable option for one-shotting enemies and blowing them out of cover. Your aim needs to be spot on for it to work, otherwise you'll get the infamous 5-point enemy suppression hit marker and they'll just laser you down while you're reloading. Because of the balance adjustments, the splash damage radius is very small. You really need to hit directly or aim right at their feet for maximum effectiveness. My advice, always aim for the feet when possible. Direct body hits can be inconsistent due to hitbox weirdness, but the ground shots are far more reliable for getting those one-shot kills. The RPG really shines against infantry in specific situations. It's great against enemies grouped up on objectives, players hiding behind destructible cover, roof campers, or elevated positions. And here's a nice tip: you don't need to hit enemies directly if they're hiding in buildings. You can level the structure in just a few shots and deal significant rubble damage. Collapsing a building on a squad is incredibly satisfying and often more effective than trying to land direct hits through windows. A few more things to keep in mind. First, reload management. The RPG has a slow reload. Make your shots count and try to reload behind cover when you have a moment of safety. Getting caught reloading in the open is a death sentence. Second, ammo economy. You only carry a limited number of rockets. Stick near support players who drop ammo crates. Third, always reposition after taking your shot when fighting vehicles. You won't get to fire the second rocket if they pinpoint your location. And finally, destroy cover strategically. Don't just spam rockets randomly. Think about which cover your enemies are relying on and remove it strategically to expose them to your team. So those are the fundamentals that will take your RPG game to the next level. Understand how the scope really works, practice hitting moving targets, and don't be afraid to use it against infantry when the situation calls for it. The RPG rewards skill and practice. The more you use it, the more natural it becomes, and soon you'll be landing those impossible helicopter shots and turning enemy armor into scrap metal. Let me know in the comments what your best RPG moment has been. I want to hear about those clutch plays. Don't forget to subscribe for more Battlefield 6 guides and tips, and drop a like if this helped you out. Thanks for watching and see you on the next one.